college sports memorabilia, Buckeye baby shoes, authentic gym floors. The collectibles are endless: jerseys, hats, helmets. We're talking all things college sports memorabilia. Welcome to Cool Collectibles. I'm Gabe Spiegel. Joe Brode, producer Luke. Joe Brode from Primetime Sports and Framing, our expert in the house. College sports, we were just talking a little bit before we got started here, and the memorabilia, the collectibles pocket has really changed because of NIL and whatnot. But when you're looking at becoming an investor in college memorabilia, wow, there is some money to be made. And we're not just talking about jerseys, but hats, gear, you name it. Where do we start? We are huge Buckeye fans. You got big Buckeye events coming up that we're going to get to in just a second. But my goodness gracious, how is college sports unique from the professional sports collecting world?
Yeah, so it's kind of getting not really difficult now, but because with the NIL money and guys transferring in and out. So when you have guys like Jeremiah Smith, who's stayed at Ohio State, never left because of money. Like, he's been there his entire career at Ohio State. Like, his stuff is now more meaningful to the Buckeye fans. Like, and there's more money because, hey, he doesn't sign much. But when you got guys transferring and stuff, that's when it gets kind of difficult. Like, you want the stuff at their last team.
Yeah.
You just had him in signing autographs just a couple nights ago. I mean, you got him signing all this stuff. You have these eBay auction lives. It's incredible that you can get this, but these are super rare items because guys like this don't sign a lot.
Yeah, no, they don't. And like the big star quarterbacks, they don't sign a lot either. So like if you get an item signed on the college uniform by the top quarterback, like Archie Manning at Texas or Julian Sain, Ohio State, and DJ Langway, and a couple other big-time quarterbacks. Like, that's going to hold value. There's not many out there.
The ceiling on this guy goes, let's say we win a national championship with the Buckeyes. Then he goes and he wins a Super Bowl or two in his career. And you got this for basically pennies on the dollar. But now is the time you got to strike.
Yeah, now's the time you got to strike. I mean, if he does all that, like you just mentioned, that mini helmet's probably $1,000 to $1,200 mini helmet with a blink of an eye, and people are buying it, and that's if he signs again. That's if he signs again.
And you can enjoy it in your man cave, your she shed for all those years, and talk with your buddies about it, and then pass it down to your kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way to do it.
Absolutely. And the best, like outside of receivers, the one of the best positions to collect is quarterbacks. Then you got receivers and running backs. So like quarterbacks are
playmakers.
Yeah, the playmakers. So that's what people,
the showstoppers.
Long term, that's what people want. Unless you got a big time DN like Chase Young, Bosa brothers, like unless you get a big time guy like that, and linebackers depending on the situation, like Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles. When you got potential top 5 picks, like that's a different story. But
is it better to maybe invest in college sports memorabilia because those players don't go from here, we're playing for the Buck. Well, actually they do, I guess. Yeah, they're playing for the Buckeyes, and then we go to Notre Dame. It's rare it happens, but it's much less likely to happen in college sports than it is for a guy to go from the Browns to the Dallas Cowboys or something like that. So it's a wiser investment.
Yes and no. If you're a true Buckeye fan and how hot the Buckeye market is, yes, I would say, but collect your Buckeyes. But if you're Auburn fan, if you're USC fan, Notre Dame, collect your stuff because it'll always sell. Like, people want that merchandise, and there's limited out there, right? Because even the older guys, there's not much out there unless you get them to sign that stuff after their career because NIL wasn't around for them. So there's not much like Notre Dame stuff, and there's not enough Ohio State stuff of the older guys as well. Because when they go on to get these exclusives like Fanatics, like Fanatics doesn't sell custom jerseys, right? And they don't even they make authentic jerseys now, but they don't get them signed at signings. They're getting their NFL team. And they may have a couple mini helmets of Ohio State, but the inventory is minimal. So if you're going to get an item signed like by the guy in college, get it now because Fanatics gets a hold of them, they're not signing jerseys.
Yeah.
They're not signing custom
Once they
jerseys.
sign to somebody, it's pretty much that's a wrap.
Yeah. So their college stuff is going to dwindle down.
Other than like, because you said there's a big market for Buckeye fans out there. Like, what other schools do you see the most kind of rabid interest in when it comes to collecting?
No one's bigger than Ohio State.
Obviously.
No, I don't think anybody's bigger than Ohio State, but right now the hot market is Texas.
Texas?
Yeah, because
I thought you were going to say Notre Dame or Alabama.
Well, right now because they have a couple high-end picks, and they've spent a lot of money at NIL, so they have a lot of high-profile athletes who are going to be top 5, top 10 picks in the NFL draft. So people are looking for those guys' autographs. I've seen those guys do some autograph signings down in Texas for a couple autograph shows. But outside of that, like always Notre Dame. Just people love Notre Dame.
Yeah, of course.
Oregon a little bit, but they're so far out west. Like it's not.
It's kind of a nice like.
It-
I don't know any
It is.
Oregon fans. Well, I know one.
I mean, SEC, Alabama,
Yes.
Auburn, Georgia.
Yeah, so then you got the Alabama and Georgia and LSU. Those are really big schools down there, and they love their sports down
Of
there.
course.
Tennessee. What about Florida schools?
Yeah. Like having if you find merchandise of signed merchandise at a stadium, at a college stadium, I bet you it goes really quick. Like there's not a lot out there. Like people want that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's why we're trying to do multiple signings with different schools, not just Buckeyes, because we want everybody to make primetime a one-stop shop.
Of course, yeah.
We are homers, but
Yeah.
seriously, are we top? Ohio State top when it comes to
yeah.
memorabilia?
Absolutely.
And our alumni group is massive. I mean,
Yeah.
they have 65,000 kids. Argue at one stage, the biggest schools in America was like UCF, Ohio State. Ohio State was biggest for a number of years there, mid 2000s. And then Texas was big too. But I'm just talking about student population. I mean, we are one of the biggest in the country, so it makes sense.
It's just I think it's just one of the most recognizable brands too. Like people go there from all across the country. Like you were talking about SEC schools. I feel like that's very other than like Alabama. I graduated with kids who went to Alabama, but like I feel like it's very regional. Like if you live in the South, you're going to go to one of those schools.
Right.
But I mean, there's kids who come here from overseas to go to Ohio State. So
And I think now like Alabama's on the back burner ever since NIL started and Nick Saban left. They're kind of on the back burner with like wanting to get something signed.
Yeah.
They may have one or two guys, but it's not like I want the whole team.
the dynasty's over.
Yeah. And then I think the next team is Georgia down there.
Yeah.
I know she didn't mention any schools from that state up north. It's weird how that happens. it's just me. Okay,
That's-
very good. Michigan.
There's a state north of us.
It's like a hand or something weird.
Never heard of it.
Hey, where are you from?
don't
Like,
know.
why are you waving at me, man? I didn't. That's pretty good, right? We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, he's got these incredible jerseys that I can't believe you have. Not just the jersey, but it's autographed. Super cool stuff, and huge Buckeye signings event. A couple events coming up here real soon. We're gonna talk about that and biggest rival. We love talking rivalries. We love talking collectibles, valuable things that are going to make you some money down the road. Welcome back to Cool Collectibles. I'm Gabe. We got Joe. We got Luke. And, pair of gold pants. We're big Buckeye fans here. Pair of gold pants, if you could even find one. Any idea on the price of that, Master Luke?
Online, you could get a pair of gold pants for a cool $4,700 right now.
$5,000?
Yeah, about
No
$5,000.
idea where it's from or where is it authenticated? I don't know.
Who knows, man?
Well, that would be quite a collectible to have. Okay, you got some amazing stuff. We're talking. Speaking of the Buckeyes, this kid. We were talking a little bit off camera. This kid is going to be a game changer. Come on now.
Ooh.
Chris Henry Jr., the Ohio State Buckeyes. What are we? Preseason one? Are we pretty close?
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying
they're
the
gonna
Buckeyes-
they're gonna make Texas #1 again.
Yeah, but this guy, and his dad, of course, Chris Henry Sr., big wide receiver superstar for the Bengals for many years, and this is Junior. And What is this kid? What were you saying? He's like six what?
6'6".
6'6", and he's putting on some muscle, man.
This kid's like a freak good.
Yeah, he's got 2 more.
6'6".
He's got
good
2 more
hands.
years. Oh yeah.
And you, I don't know how you did this, but you got. How do you get a player like that to sign something?
Yeah, we did an autograph signing with him.
That's what he does. He waves his magic wand and he gets all these magical items.
So like as soon as he commits, are you guys like trying to get in touch with his team and everything, or does it happen more organically?
So like there's like a time period where kids will commit when they're a junior in high school or like sophomore, freshman.
Yeah.
Like they can change their mind
Right.
senior season. Right.
But I imagine there's a big rush of people like trying to get in on it as soon as they commit somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure there is, especially with high-profile athletes like Henry. But you want to make sure they're going to that school, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because now they have NIL in high school, so like you could do an autograph signing with the kid that, oh yeah, I'm going to Ohio State, I'm going to be this number, but he doesn't end up being that number. So what's the point of doing an autograph signing then?
I can tell you I would not have gotten much money on the NIL market in high school.
Come on. You get a couple free cheeseburgers from Wendy's or
Yeah,
something, right?
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any
Chick-fil-A.
high school players out there who maybe you would consider doing a signing? Are there players now on the radar that we all should be watching for?
Nobody in high school that I would do a signing with. It's just because
Just too early.
It's
Yeah.
too early. Like nobody's gonna collect. Sure, maybe people from the high school, but
Drew Aller, he was what? At Medina,
Yeah.
and he was, even in high school, he was 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", a big kid.
Yeah.
Somebody like that, no? You never know.
But
Eh,
you
it's
gotta-
You know how these
not a
things work
great
out.
example.
No, I don't know. I'm just trying to pull
you
something
just,
out.
don't, you just don't know, right?
Right.
You just
Yeah.
really don't know. Like you're taking a true gamble of
Right.
guys like going like they may not even play their first year. Chris Henry's playing week 1, and
Yeah.
like a quarterback. There's no guarantee they're playing
Yeah.
year 1. So you're doing a signing with a guy, ends up going to Penn State, doesn't play year 1. He plays was it second or third year? Not too sure on that
It's a big
information,
gamble,
but
yeah.
but like you're waiting that long to sell that product. So what's the point of doing a signing?
But do you think like imagine if you had like a Jeremiah Smith high school signed jersey? Do you think that would go for a lot?
Oh, I'm sure somebody from his high school that loves the high school.
Yeah.
I'm sure, absolutely.
But that's probably a more narrow.
yeah,
market
oh
for
yeah,
that,
very
yeah.
very narrow market, and you don't want to get thousands of them signed or
Right,
a
yeah.
couple hundred. Like there's only 1 or 2 type deal.
Your Buckeyes are looking good this year. You got Jeremiah Smith on one side. You got Henry on the other. You got
Expectations are high as
Mr.
always.
Precision, Julian Sayin.
And we got Bo Jackson in the backfield too.
Just got to run the ball better.
You say Bo Jackson. You mean the running back Bo Jackson, whom is coming into one of your stores for a signing
Yeah.
here real soon.
Yeah,
Give us the deets on that, sir.
yeah. July 25th, Bo Jackson, Kenyatta Jackson, Legend Bay, who is a freshman at Ohio State, is looking to get some playing time this year, and Luke Montgomery are all coming to our store, Belton Village Mall, July 25th. You can find all the details on primetime12.com and get your tickets.
You have some other big events coming up, too. July 19th, the big bad wrestler Kevin Nash.
Yeah, Kevin Nash and Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon Bell, that wild running back for the Steelers, Jets. And what do you say he played for the Chiefs, too?
He
Luke?
won a Super Bowl
Yeah, he
with the
did.
Chiefs.
Yeah, he played with the Chiefs. Yeah.
So he's going to come in, and that's Belton Village
Yep.
on July 19th.
Yeah.
Hello. How fun is that?
I
Just to
know.
go out there. And these events, they not normally come in for an hour or two. You get in line. Do we need to make reservations first?
You can, just to secure your spot. You can, or you can buy tickets the day of and purchase a ticket, and get in line, and go meet the athlete, have your moment, and then in and out, easy.
Pittsburgh Steelers. We're Cleveland Browns country here, folks. Rivalry stuff. Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, Alabama, all the SEC rivalries. When you can get your hands on some of those collectibles, that merch, a program, a poster, and it all really comes down to getting things signed, right?
Yes and no. There's some items that aren't signed out there that's worth a lot of money. Not everything has to have a signature on it. It's just has to have like an iconic moment or memory or something very sought after. Like just give you an example. Like a Tom Brady game used football, if it's as long as it has the certification, like that's worth some money.
Yeah. One of the deflated balls.
Yeah, one of the deflated balls that is worth some money.
Alleged. Deflategate alleged.
Yeah.
But what's the difference if I have a Tom Brady game ball, $100, $500, and then it's double if it's signed?
Yeah,
or would it be triple? Kind of?
It adds significant value, especially if he signs it and writes an inscription of like what went on in that game, if it's game used, like if the player themselves writes something on it, it adds significant value to it. But if there's no writing or anything on it, you just know it's a game used ball from Tom Brady when he played, it's still valuable, but it's not as valuable as if Tom Brady wrote on it, hey, this is the game I played it with. I had 2 touchdowns and 300 yards passing, and then something iconic happened. Gronk caught both of these touchdowns. You get Gronk to sign that ball. Like now you're adding a lot of value to that ball.
You get weird stuff. I mean, you're the expert that comes into your shop, and you get somebody who says, "Oh, this is an authentic national championship game in wherever," or here's some chewed bubble gum from Sophie Cunningham from this game that I had her spin. Whatever.
Oh,
Yeah. Here's some baby boots that are Buckeye emblem baby boots, but were a gift from Woody Hayes. You get those weird, unique stuff from time to time. And how do you handle those situations?
Yeah, absolutely. My dad actually he got game used floor from St. Vincent St. Mary when LeBron played.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a game floor piece and it's framed up and LeBron signed the floor piece, and it's authenticated by Upper Deck.
That's pretty cool.
And so he got that piece in, and so that's worth some money.
Yeah.
There's definitely unique items out there that come about and come to our stores.
Cleats, jerseys, scarves, programs, hats, pennants, chairs. I mean, lockers from the locker rooms, benches,
nets.
stuff like that. Like play like a champion day. Those signs, stuff like that all has value. You just have to see it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to know some sort of the history of where it came from, what it is, and do some research on your own to figure out the kind of value you have.
What about those college players who are superstars in college, but really kind of fell asleep in the pros? What about their merch? Johnny Manziel, is that stuff still selling? Is it? Stack of, what was it, hundreds? We'll talk about that on the other end of this break. Collectibles, Auburn Star Keldrick Club. You got a signed this kid, first NFL jersey, defensive end. You've got all these really cool up-and-coming players, recent draft picks. You got Mekhi Lemon over here, who could end up being just lights out. I mean, people need to check out your website, and they need to check out your eBay auctions because you've got it all at prime time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
You love your job or what? Is this fun or what?
I do love my job. It's a lot of work, but you get to meet some pretty cool people along the way.
Yeah, I'll say.
Mekhi, so you get him at USC, then he goes to play for Philly. This could arguably be a lot more valuable since it's his college jersey signed. Maybe he goes to play for Philly, then he comes to the Browns. Maybe, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong because he had a great career at USC, but then he goes to Philly and not so hot. Mm-hmm. People, USC fans may want the USC jersey over Philly.
If you have because you have all this college merch from these guys, is there teams you're I hope he gets drafted to Philly or I hope he gets drafted to New York because this could be way more valuable if he goes to a really big market or a really big fan base.
Absolutely. Sonny Styles, he's our exclusive. Washington's a great fan base, but if he got drafted to the Giants, they're a hot market right now.
Right.
New York, the Knicks won. Everybody's buying New York merch. So if he got drafted to the Giants, his stuff will even go for even more. Just
Jack Sawyer rumbling, bumbling, stumbling in for the score. Oh, that is cool. Except he plays for Pittsburgh now. Another good one got away.
They get
from
all the
us.
good Buckeyes.
Dude, you have everything out there. It's really cool. It's awesome stuff. And you can get a lot of the stuff on your eBay auctions.
Yep, eBay
site.
auctions and on our website, primetime12.com. You can get stuff on our eBay auctions.
Fantastic. Now, those are all players who are clearly did very well in college or are about to do very well, like Chris Henry Jr. What about old Johnny Football? Can we still make money off of Johnny Manziel, and what was the guy, what was his name in Vegas? Billy Manziel? When he put the whole get up on? It's a pretty funny story.
Yeah.
What kind of clown does that?
Why did we draft him?
But there's a lot of Johnny merch out there. Is he doing autograph signings now?
Yeah, guys like that. They still do autograph signings. Just the athletes themselves still sell because there's such a history with Johnny.
Yeah,
people still like his stuff, but like he'll write Cleveland sucks on Cleveland Browns mini helmets or jerseys, and those sell really well. And then Texas A&M.
It's because we have to have a sense of humor as Browns fans. We do.
True.
But it's a collectible, you know,
Right.
and it's a memory that people will never forget. So you write Cleveland sucks, and sometimes Cleveland fans keep it. Just remember, like, oh, this is what you did during this time, and how much hate I have towards you. But I'm gonna buy it just to remember that, like, I don't like Johnny. You know, it's just collectibles. All collections and memorabilia is all different for each person.
Ryan Leaf, Vince Young, Matt Leinart, Tim Tebow, all with superstar college careers. Didn't really work out in the pros. Still valuable stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I bet you if you brought any one of those on to our eBay Live and did a live stream, people would still come out.
They would crush it.
Yeah.
We love our stars.
Yeah.
You know? This is a crazy busy month for you.
It is.
And then you've got major events coming up in August, too. But tell us about the here and now. What's coming up next? He has all these public signings at his shops at Great Northern Mall, Belden Village, and then he also does a lot of these private signings. So you really got to stay in touch with Primetime on social media and the website, so that you know, because you're going to miss. I'm mad I missed Shooter McGavin. Yeah, the shooter. I'm mad because I missed it. But that's why you got to stay on top of these things. So what do you got coming up?
Yeah, so July 20th, we have Jay Novacek on eBay Live only. And then
Tied in for the Cowboys, right?
Yep.
Once was.
And then
right?
Jack Clark, baseball. And then July 22nd, Darrell Evans. And then we have our Buckeye event July 25th.
The big one.
The big one. And then that leads us into the National Card Show.
The Buckeye event, this is huge. Lamar Bo Jackson, Legend Bay, Kenyatta Jackson Jr., and Luke Montgomery, the big offensive lineman.
Yep, absolutely. So those are coming to Belleville Mall.
Then
And then we're going to the National Card Show. So if you're out there in Chicago at the National Card Show, we'll be with eBay and the eBay booth. Come by and say hi and say, hey, I bought your show. Cool collectibles.
That'll be fun, man.
We
I
may give you something free. I don't
I
know.
know. I've heard we have a few viewers in Chicago, so
yeah.
go out and say hi.
What are some pro tips if you're going to go to that for the first time ever?
You're probably gonna be nervous, but don't be nervous. Just relax and take your time and soak it all in. Like there's gonna be a line, so get there early. Food wise, I mean, lines are gonna be long for food, so bring your own water, bring a couple snacks in the bag, and as you're going in the main gate, like there's gonna be a rush of people, and it's gonna be hot, so wear light clothes. But just go around and enjoy it. Like there's so many tables. You're gonna miss tables. You just are. But go around, take your time. Know what you're wanting to look for. If you're wanting to buy something, go in with a plan. Just don't go in, I'm just gonna look for the best deal. It's not really how that's gonna work. Like you gotta, I want to collect Chris Henry Jr. cards or Makai Lemon or Jackson Dart. Like go in with a plan, because everybody's gonna have all different price range, and typically at the big time card show like that, prices are going to be a little bit higher, because you got to remember the dealers got to pay a premium to be in there, to be set up with all those people.
So the prices are
they're going to charge a premium.
Right.
So, but there are deals. You just got to find them.
And it's more about the experience.
And you got the experience, and then don't be afraid. Like if somebody just has a card box sitting on the table, like those could be where the hidden gems are, right? Like dollar box cards, but they're like $5, $10 cards. Like don't be afraid to look through those.
Cran Poobah of all things NFL legends. Can you get autographs at the Hall of Fame weekend here in Canton? his tips, all that information on the other end of this break. This secret material, you're not going to believe this. Hall of Fame weekend, Canton, Ohio, primetime sports and framing. Joe, Luke, I mean, I got a jersey. I got an Emmitt Smith jersey. I got a Jim Brown jersey. But you have stuff like that, and you meet these legends of the game in Canton. Yeah, are they cool? For the most part, most guys, you have special events, but can you catch these guys on the street? What's the tip?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Hall of Fame actually does invite all the Hall of Famers out that weekend. Some can make it, some can't, but they do host. You do have to pay for a ticket based on the player, but they do host an autograph signing at the actual Hall of Fame. You can find more information on the actual Hall of Fame website.
For their event.
Yeah, for their
What's
event.
that, but ballpark, $100 a ticket to get in kind of thing?
No, it's like, I believe that signing is typically Saturday, the day of the ceremony.
Okay.
So they're all there at the ceremony, and then they go signing afterwards. And it's anywhere, it ranges from $15 to $100, $150, depending on the athlete.
Okay.
But a lot of cool athletes, a lot of variety. And so if you're looking to meet a specific guy, you can do there. Or go there and get your ticket. We're also bringing some athletes in as well. The confirmed one is Lawrence Taylor, so we're bringing Lawrence Taylor back. I believe it's going to be eBay Live only though.
Okay.
So you're going to that event. You can also tune in and buy merchandise while you're waiting in line. You can buy Lawrence Taylor merchandise as well. So double dipping.
Hey, why not?
Why not? But yeah, so the Hall of Fame, the athletes do walk around, and you may be able to chance to get to meet one, get a quick selfie, but do know that security is high at that time. So just be alert, be respectful as always. Like don't bother them at dinner. Like let them have dinner. Like, and then outside, if they're just waiting for something, hey, can you get a quick pic, or can I have a quick signature or something? Like, be respectful about it.
Sure.
Wherever you are.
I have an uncle who used to work for the Hall of Fame for a long time, and he would organize that weekend every year. And he gave my dad and his friend tickets to like some exclusive VIP event with a bunch of Hall of Famers, and they're like the only two normal guys in there. So they're just they're just like walking around like, oh crap, that's Franco Harris, and that's whatever. And he said Lynn Swan, the receiver from the Steelers, got up, and it was time to move on to the next room or go to the next thing, and he got on the mic and started telling people to leave, and he was pointing guys out specifically, like Joe Montana, we got to get to the dinner, pointing guys out. And then he looks at my dad and his friend, and he's like, he just stops. He's like, what the hell are you guys doing here? And just turns and looks at another guy.
That's fantastic. A classic story.
Yeah.
Okay, a final word on getting autographs at the Hall of Fame weekend festivities. Stay tuned because more names are coming probably at prime time, I'm sure, with your events. But that was awful nice of you to, plug the Hall of Fame events too.
Yeah, absolutely. They're actually doing a big cookout thing. It's I think they call it the end of summer cookout or something like that. I'm not too for sure on the name, but they're having a different style of food for each team. And I think the Browns are doing hot dogs. So the Cleveland Browns will have a little stand, and they're selling hot dogs or giving away hot dogs. I think they're selling, but I don't think they're giving away. But each team has a different style of food at that event, and I'm sure there's be bounce houses and stuff for kids, and it's a really cool event. Like the Hall of Fame does a really, really good job hosting their events during that time of year. So, and we'll be set up inside the stadium too. So if you're going to the Hall of Fame game, go to one of the merch booths. We'll be there selling merchandise.
Nice.
We're going to do much more on the Hall of Fame festivities and that coming up in August. So stay tuned for more in July. But you can always find out more information on primetime12.com. That's your website. You've got all the good stuff there. Because his events are popping up all the time because you get people in and it's changing. I've got to get on there and check it all the time because you guys are fast and furious. Your eBay auction lines, you got to check them out there too. That's producer Luke. I'm Gabe Spiegel. Cool Collectibles at fox8.com. Reach out to us. Tell us what you want us to talk about in our next couple of podcasts. But we really appreciate you joining us here, and we'll see you next time on Cool Collectibles.